welcome to Scrub Mode. Happy New Year, everybody. Yay, happy springtime.
Pew, pew, pew.
I said we'd be back, and here we are.
We kept our promise.
Well, I guess depending on when this comes out, it could be springtime, because, it's fucking 16 degrees outside right now, as we record this, for me at least.
It will be
Happy, really cold spring.
Yeah, it's a new year. It's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. Okay, anyway. It's good to be here. I'm so happy to be here. I'm pretty jazzed to be with my two buddies. My two good friends, John and Ryan.
We be podcasting again.
We're podcasting
again. We're in it.
Doing it. Oh man, I'm so happy.
We took a vacation, and now we feel better-ish.
Hopefully everybody had a good holiday. But today we're talking about elementals.
Yeah, and, we're going to do Dragon Turtles first.
But
I find elementals to be statistically very uninteresting, so even though they're not like dragons and giants, they're spread all over the book, we're going to crunch them all together like a Dragons or Giants episode, because there's like nothing to fucking say about them. But first, something I like. Dragon Turtles.
Dragon Turtles pretty great.
Yeah.
Big old turtles?
Yeah. A turtle so big, you might mistake it for an island.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those are pretty great. They're in like a lot of movies. I remember in Sinbad, there was one.
Yes, it's also in the book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fascinating One Nights.
Yeah.
And
that's very cool.
Aladdin 2?
Yeah, there was
Aladdin 3.
I remember Aladdin 2. I remember having the VHS of Aladdin 2.
Whichever one
Aladdin Boogaloo.
I think it's the one with his dad.
It's the one with his dad. It's the one with Aladdin's dad and the Hand of Midas.
God.
I remember that. I remember the bad guy gets it really bad in that one.
Oh, yeah?
Is it a Bad End Beyond? Does he get Midas? Does he turn to gold?
Spoiler alert.
What, a 30-year-old movie? Like,
I know, yeah.
If you haven't watched it yet, sorry.
If you haven't seen Aladdin 2, I'm sorry, guys. But the bad guy gets turned to gold.
If you got excited hearing there was an Aladdin 2 and was looking to look it up, but John fucked it up for you, we're sorry.
In my defense, I do, you know what a Chekhov's gun is, right?
Yeah.
If you introduce a Chekhov's
you go after an item called the Hand of Midas, there's something gonna get touched.
Someone's gonna get bad touched by the Hand of Midas. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
It's not anyone's fault.
That was a great
particularly.
Yeah, I really like the Aladdin movies, and despite all their flaws.
Strangely enough, really solid sequel.
Yeah, Aladdin's great.
Wasn't it like a direct-to-tape sequel?
It was. It was direct to VHS. I had the VHS, yeah.
I think it's Aladdin 3, because I think Aladdin 2 is Revenge of Jafar.
Oh, you're right. It was Aladdin 3. It was the third one.
Much like Electric Boogaloo, I think the Revenge of Jafar is one of those taglines you can put after anything, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It'll just
the Revenge of Blank.
Transformers 2, Revenge of Jafar.
Yeah, see? So, real quick.
Grease
what the
2, The Revenge of Jafar.
Yeah, or, well, nope, that might be
2,
bad.
Revenge of Jafar.
See, though? See? Am I wrong?
Bad Boys 2, The Revenge of Jafar.
You're not wrong.
Will Smith and Martin Lawrence face off their greatest foe. A long dead Arabian wizard.
I think in the original Aladdin story, he's initially from Morocco, but anyway, we don't need to.
Like in
that's
the
my
OG,
special interest.
And the OG.
Yeah, like OG.
Yes, the OG. Man, this is not
the OG
relevant.
Aladdin. Because the OG Aladdin set in China was Chinese, right?
No, okay. You've activated my trap card. So,
I gotta know. I gotta know, John.
Too late.
The
you're
OG
deep in it.
Aladdin is set in the far, far away land of China, but many of the characters are from the Maghreb, which is North Africa. But throughout like the medieval Arab period and into the like classical Arab period, if you wanted to set a story far, far away, you would be like, yeah, this takes place in China.
Because people knew that China existed, but they didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, because the Silk Road had been around, but like you have to remember, like these people, especially in like the centers of learning, like Baghdad and stuff like that, they're like, they're way closer to like Greece than they are to like
Asia.
China as we think of China and
Yeah.
East Asia, like it's across the
world,
Great
brother.
Plains the Mongolians roamed, and then 2 deserts and several mountain ranges, and then you get to like Beijing, because Beijing's on the coast. It's basically
Yeah.
the entire continent of Asia away.
Right.
And that's a long way away.
And they didn't know about the New World. They wouldn't know about the New World until the late 1400s.
Somebody
early
knew about it,
1500s.
but nobody was
Yes,
talking to
a
them.
lot of people who lived there knew about America.
Someone was
Let me be clear.
well-informed, but nobody talked about it.
But the medieval Arab writers and folktale tellers in pre-1500s, like
They looked at
Baghdad
each
and
other,
Iran, did not.
They all just kind of agreed. They're like, you know what? China sounds pretty mystical for me.
Exactly. You can see Orientalist tropes go back thousands of years, even before there was an Orient. How
Where
do I
does that
pivot?
word come from? Oriental.
I think it's just Latin for Orientalis. I think just Latin for the East, just like Occidentalis is Latin for the West.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
And Austral something is Latin for South, which is where we get like Australia from. And also
those Australians.
I think I could be talking out of school, but like the Austria, that name comes from like Österreich, which is German for like Österreich, which is like the Southern Empire, because you had like the other German city-states in the north, and Austria is pretty far south comparatively. Like you get touching into like the stands, well, not the stands, but the Caucasus. Anyway, oh man, I love history lessons, but that's not what we're here for.
I know you love history, John. That's why I love you.
Tangent,
bro. Sick tangent, indeed. Dragon turtles.
Dragon turtles.
Pivot.
Man.
Someone give me a pivot real quick. I need a pivot.
Oh man. They're in D&D.
I like when my mountains walk on 4 legs.
There we go. I'll take either of those.
Like, isn't that also, that's kind of like tangentially related to the dragon turtles, right? The world turtle, like, who was it that believed the world was on the back of a giant turtle?
I want to say Zoroastrian, but I'm not sure.
I forget.
I know it's Terry Pratchett for sure, but I don't know if Discworld counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you guys know what these things are. It's a dragon that's shaped like a turtle that's as big as an island, okay?
Yeah.
It's CR17, so you know, like your max level's 20, so it's fucking up there. It's a big turtle, so it's got max AC of 20. Ton of HP, yada yada yada. I think the funniest thing about the stat block is that he has a tail slap. But if you get hit by it, you only get pushed back 10 feet, which, considering this is the size of Hawaii, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
He's a very gentle
I guess they can be as big as
turtle.
you want them to be.
Yeah, they're gargantuan size, so gargantuan is just like anything, you know, how do I put it's not like a feet thing, but it's like, it's just the biggest monster size. There are a lot of different sizes in gargantuan. He could just be a very large battleship, or he could be a wahoo. I don't know.
We've talked about the sizes in D&D before.
Yeah.
How many of them are there? I forget. Tiny.
Diminutive, which is like a fly. Tiny,
right?
which is a house cat. Small, which is like a child or a halfling. Medium, which is like most things. Large, which is like a horse or an ogre. And then it starts to get wacky because I think elephants and tyrannosauruses are huge. And then like it gets the bigger it gets, the wackier it gets.
Yeah.
But caps at a gargantuan, where the D&D writers just be like, I don't fucking know, man.
There should be all the way above that, like cosmic.
Yes. Would be helpful in this specific circumstance.
Yeah.
Colossal, thank you.
Colossal.
Astronomic.
Yeah.
See, that's good. I feel like it would be like astronomic. I'm gesturing with my hands, which is great for audio. Astronomic at the top. Cosmic, you know.
Yeah.
And then
yada yada yada.
Celestian.
Celestian's good.
Yeah, it's a good word. I like that.
Really up there.
Yeah. Really up there, yeah. But yeah, dragon turtles. I don't know what to say about them, but they are cool.
They have hot steam breath. They can boil you alive or de-wrinkle your clothes. That's nice.
They can hot steam your shirt and then step on it, and it'll be flatter than anything you've ever had before.
There's a weird bit of fluff where they like to eat treasure and then vomit it up later somewhere safe.
Okay, so that's a good MacGuffin, I guess. And go to the dragon, find a dragon turtle.
Yeah, find their lair.
Find their lair, fire where they vomit up their treasure.
Yeah, the MacGuffin was on a ship, and the dragon turtle sunk that ship, swallowed the MacGuffin, and then vomited it up in an underwater cave. And now you got to go, sneak in, Smog style.
Yeah. There's a
The
great
world
Magic the
is,
Gathering card, Dragon Turtle. He's a great
Is there?
card. Yeah, it's great. He's got Flash, and he's got this thing called Drag Under. When he enters the battlefield, target creature becomes tapped and doesn't untap until the following turn.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like you drag him under.
For 3 mana too, 3/5. That's pretty good.
Flash. Like I always play it. There's this very strategic way to playing it in MTG Arena, where you got to play them before they attack. Because if you play them as they're attacking, it doesn't work. Because you still get attacked, but they still get dragged under and tapped. But they're in the midst of attacking, so it doesn't really count. So you have to play them right before the attack phase, so they can't attack with that creature.
Yeah, I can see why this is a rare. That's a lot of value for 3 mana.
Yeah, he's great. I love Dragon Turtle. I played him in my Muzet Dragon Wizard deck. It was pretty great.
It's a dragon, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Dragon Turtle, creature. Dragon Turtle. Never would have guessed.
Yeah. It's a dragon.
Only
a
name.
Only a name.
But geez.
Have the world be threatened by a dragon turtle.
Yeah.
It eats like an empire's treasury. It regurgitates it somewhere safe.
A one-man Spanish armada, but it works.
Yeah.
It works.
It's stuck in Spain.
Secret city on the back of a dragon turtle.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because like one of the other fluff blurbs is like marids, which are like wet genies, ocean genies, like build elaborate palaces on their backs.
Genies.
That's different from just water genasi, right?
Yeah, genasi are just like elemental people. They're not djinn as far as I'm aware.
I see.
Man, the djinn episode's going to be crazy. We'll get there. But
I
like
can't wait for
also
the djinn episode.
Oh my god. Well, it's one of those things, right? Like
gonna pop off.
Like Slenderman or Candlejack or Beetlejuice or the other two that I'm not going to say out of respect for Native American culture, where like you're not supposed to name that shit.
They kind of manifest.
Yeah, they're aware of you and they'll come get you. So like, I know in Turkey they called djinn like I can't remember if it's the 3 or the 4-lettered things, but like I don't know. I think that's spooky. Where you're like, shh, the 4-lettered things will hear you.
Yeah, can't talk about them. They'll be very upset.
They probably even know about this. Oh no.
Yeah, they do. Hey, we're big fans.
Would Candlejack be considered? It was you that
told me the djinn myth that they'll make you fart while you pray, right?
Yes, I was going to bring that up in the djinn episode. But
That's
there
funny.
is, I can't remember if it's a surah or a hadith. The surah being like a chapter in the Quran, and the hadith being like commentary or extra advice put forth later. But they're like, God will not accept your prayers if you fart.
Right.
So often Satan will try to convince you to fart so that he will invalidate your prayers.
Yeah.
And Satan,
what a prankster!
What a little goofster. Obviously, there are many, many schools of thought in Islam. Not all of them agree that this is correct.
So yeah, I remember a friend of the show, Tim. He had posted. I think it was around Halloween time. People were talking about djinn. Djinn were in the zeitgeist for some reason. He was talking about djinn on a story that he posted on Instagram, and he was asking for like djinn stories.
Yeah,
and I brought that up, that they'll make you fart while you're praying, and he was like, that's kind of interesting. I could see them doing that.
Yeah, they're pranksters. Again, that episode will be very fun.
It'll be great. Anyway, moving on.
But first, I mean, we're kind of in the right realm, right?
Yeah,
they're elemental beings too. Like,
yeah.
At least in D&D, they hang out. This one hangs out with dragon turtles.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Pirates turn them into living battleships, which is cool as fuck. I think
that is really cool.
That's how I'd use them. Like, give the pirate king a base that's just on this big ass turtle. Yeah,
turtle.
And evil sea creatures like Sahagin like worship them and are like, hey bud, you want to fucking kick some surface dwellers with me? We'll give you the treasure. They're also intelligence 10s. They're easy to bribe and convince to do stuff.
The dragon turtle can become your friend. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, intelligence, like average humans, like intelligence 12. So they're a little slow.
A little turtly.
Yeah. So we talked about this earlier, but like, So like there's a meme, right? There's a mythological meme where like a bunch of dudes are out there, the sea is fucking big and huge, and they see an island and they're like, God, that island looks dope. Let's stop on that island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you
I would
stop on
always
that
do
island
that.
and you start a fire, and then the island is like, ouchies, and disappears under the water and drowns everyone.
Yeah.
So we see that show up in Kraken stories. We see that show up in ancient Greek stories. We see that show up everywhere. And when that island monster is a giant turtle, it's called a spedicalon,
Oh,
from
yeah. I
Greek
remember
meaning
that
just
term.
like shield turtle.
Okay.
Anyway, use that for D&D. Just steal that right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So weirdly, like this starts with the ancient Greeks and then it spreads everywhere. So like in medieval bestiaries, they have this pretty weak ass allegory where they're like, the Aspidicalon, it's like Satan, because Satan tempts you with a beautiful island, but when you get there, he's going to drown you. And it's like, see, that's an allegory for sin, which
That's the devil.
I guess, yeah. I guess you could,
That's the devil.
Yep.
Devil.
You see, cheese is much like the devil, which it makes you want it.
We're talking about
Such greed.
We're talking about Satan and cheese a lot more than I thought we would this
And
episode.
then you eat it. And then you find out you're lactose intolerant.
I love
That's a
cheese.
sign of sin.
Oh,
Cheese
yeah.
is one of my favorite things. I wish I
Sign of
learned more
sin.
Asian dishes.
Yeah, it's not really.
Not really a thing over there, no. They
Unless-
do it, but not the way they do it in the West.
I can't remember the name of it, but
Not
there's
the way
like
you want
this.
No.
Yeah, there's this Mongolian cheese that's supposed to be kind of like ricotta that comes from horse milk, and like horse milk, I'm not so sure about. I've got a Western palate, but like, oh, I love ricotta. I really want to try some like.
I'd try horse milk before horse meat, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I like goat milk. Goat milk's great.
I would try horse milk before I try pig milk.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think pig milk. Something about pig milk sounds real gross to me.
Oh, it sounds gross, right? It sounds bad.
It sounds not good.
There's probably a reason that people would do that.
Like there's that like dog shit, dog water. I feel like pig milk is like something worse than
Yeah.
dog water. I don't know.
Pig milk. Oh man, I wonder
It's got
who's
a bad
pig milk.
mouthfeel.
someone's tried it right in
Oh.
history. Someone's got to
Yeah,
have tried
Yeah, we
it.
have such a long history of like
Domesticating
cohabiting with
pigs,
pigs. Yeah.
So someone must have drank the
An
pig
even
milk
longer
and
history of just making food.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's just all like, I need dairy for my product.
I don't
I
have
have
a
a
cow.
pig left.
I have a pig.
There's got to be a reason why people are like, I'm going with the goat and the sheep here, not the milk, not for a pig. Like, there's got to be a reason, right?
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder.
If
This
you
is,
know-
I'm sure.
this is my Google history. Like, do people?
I'm sure
drink
it's because
pig
they
milk?
looked at them and they're like, well, if we were to compare, the goat is merely just a smaller cow.
Fair.
And the sheep is just a fluffier cow.
Have you ever seen
So-
you ever caught Miracle Workers with Steve Buscemi?
No.
There's a
Never
bit
saw
in
that
there
one yet.
where Steve Buscemi plays God.
Oh,
And there's a bit in there where everyone's
Oh.
like, explain your creations. Like, what's a cow? And he's like, it's just a dog you can drink from. And everyone's like, well, what's a dog? And he's like, well, it's a cow you can be friends with. And they're like, this is
That's
really
funny.
uncreative.
It's
That's
a
funny.
dog.
It's a good show. It's a good show. Daniel Radcliffe's in it too. A bunch of other comedians. It's great.
I've seen that like on my periphery. I've just
That's
never looked
funny.
at it.
Yeah.
Never
It's
looked
worth a
into
watch.
it.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hey, we're back to Islam. So
I feel
Oh,
like
nice.
that pig milk bit is gonna be great for TikTok. So I'm gonna
yeah, enjoy editing that. So there's
Have
this,
you had pig milk? Email us.
yeah. Hey, write us in. Leave us
Let us know.
leave us a review and tell us why we don't drink big milk if you know it.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, yeah. So like you know how it goes. The Dark Ages happen. The Arab world has a big science time. They translate all the old Greek texts.
Yeah,
And
Dark
they
Age
see-
is really just kind of Europe thing, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Like while the Dark Ages were happening, or the Arab world was like obviously China and the Americas were off doing their own thing, Africa was off doing its own thing, and the Arab world was like, wait, you guys are burning all these books by the Greek scholars? We'll take them. Shit.
Yeah, free book.
Put them in our pockets.
And then we're having like the golden age of science and philosophy. Anyway, during this time, a dude by the name of Al-Jahiz, which is Arabic for the bug-eyed, which is a bad like name to get stuck with for the rest of history.
Yeah, the bug-eyed. That's pretty good. Al-Jahiz.
I guess it all comes back to Steve Buscemi, right? We were just talking about Steve Buscemi.
Is it literally bug-eyed, or is it
yes.
just big-eyed, wide-eyed?
Bug-eyed, like buggy eyes.
Buggy eyes, I see.
Yeah. So like he said he has a bestiary where he's like, yep, this is a definitely real animal that's just out there somewhere.
Nice.
The ocean's littered with these, and then somebody
got
sees
so
that
much fucked up things in it, guys.
Yep.
You wouldn't even know.
It's like, it's not a whale or a crab. It's something way more fucked up and worse.
You won't believe it.
You won't believe it. And then in 1283, another scholar by the name of Al-Qazwini was like, he had a book called Wonders of Creatures and the Marvels of Creation, where he's like trying to catalog every animal that God made.
Not the ones he didn't make.
No. Did he?
No.
Like, you know, the what's the word? What's the animal that God didn't make? I guess maybe
Spiders.
all the deep.
I don't know.
Oh, I love a good spider though, man. Jumping
I
spiders
know.
are
I'm
cute.
thinking of like, I don't know. God made everything, so I guess it's an oxymoron. Yeah. So
anyway, he was in his book. He was like, he tells the whole like island fire story and stuff like that. And again, he's like, this is a definitely real animal that's out there. We already talked about how it shows up in a bunch of other stuff, including Sinbad, who's like, you know, the sailor hero from Oman.
Yeah. He's like an outlaw too, right? Sinbad.
Yeah,
he's a pirate. Outlaw.
I have to reread the stories, but he's an adventurer in like the most D&D sense, where he's just like, I got my bros on a boat. We're gonna roll up to mysterious islands and see if there's any cool shit on them we can take.
What was that?
That's definitely a bro moment.
Yeah, a dude's rock moment.
Yeah.
Bro, let's get on my yacht and let's go look for an island. Gonna be totally sweet.
Yeah. You talked about how they're in Magic. Yeah. They're also in One Piece. They're also in Digimon. They're also in Pokemon.
They're everywhere.
It's a cool idea. People love it.
Things, yeah.
People
love turtles.
People love Big Turtle.
Big Turtle. Yeah.
Big Turtle.
If it's good enough for Oda, it's good enough for you. If you're gonna steal from the best.
Yeah.
I mean, people love Small Turtle too, but like, come on, tortoises.
Small Turtle becomes Big Turtle.
Yeah. What if Turtle's so big?
Dope.
Yeah.
What if Turtle's so big you could chill on him?
Yeah.
That's even dope. That's even doper.
What if Turtle's so big that not only can you chill on him, you can strap cannons to him?
Yeah.
Even cooler. That's the best type of turtle.
Gun turtle?
Gun turtle.
Yeah, gun turtle. Blastoise.
Yeah,
it's Blastoise, yeah. It's Blastoise.
I said Pokemon, but I was like thinking Torterra. You're right. Blastoise does rule.
Yeah, Blastoise is great.
Torterra, oh no, that one's a camel.
Close enough.
Yeah. I was thinking of the other one.
Tortimer.
That one has kind of like...
Oh wait, no, Tortimer's the mayor in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Tortimer, yeah.
Animal Crossing, well, he's not an island, but whatever. He's on an island, close enough.
He's the mayor.
You guys got any thoughts on Dragon Turtles? We sort of whipped through that one because we got a lot of elementals.
Nah. They're okay. No, I don't have anything more to say about Dragon Turtles. They're great.
They're cool.
They're great, but yeah, moving on.
Yeah. They got a cool trick. Use that one trick.
Yeah.
They're
Drag
big.
under.
Use it.
All right. I mentioned it at the top, but elementals, man, what are they? They are living embodiments of the four elements.
The four elements as they existed to the alchemists, right, of old.
Yeah, in a Western canon.
In the Western canon, because there's way more elements in the East, right?
Metal in Japanese stuff.
Wood,
and like,
metal, and what else? There's more.
I think they still have fire and
gold
water.
Was its own thing too. I think gold.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean they were. Yeah, so many elements now in the canon of elements. Periodic table of elements.
Yes. It's funny how that word means the same thing, like a basic building block of life, but also a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by life, I mean like the physical world, not like DNA. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
Elementals.
DNA is kind of like elements, I guess.
Yeah, boy, we're really not the people to be talking about this.
We're not.
Yeah, we're not. We don't have the.
Which are
We
made
don't have the
from
know-how
elements?
or the
Yeah.
proper.
I wish I knew. I know they taught me in high school, but that information kind of went in one ear out the other a little
Yeah,
bit.
the science teacher
Would it be
teaching me
enough
that
though
was
to kind of like
Yeah,
speak about?
they did
It
their
was-
best.
Hey, LAUSD, big thumbs up from all of us, right? Woo
Yeah,
woo.
big thumbs up.
Good job, public school.
Pay teachers more, please.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
They deserve it. They put up with our bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bullshit. I was a good boy, and it's still a lot of bullshit.
Me too. Me too.
I did the best I could to be nice, but I still gave them bullshit.
Yeah. You
I
can't
tried.
help it. You're 14. You don't know how
Exactly.
to not do bullshit.
You're gonna be a
Yeah.
little shit.
You teach me division? Good luck. I'm 7.
All I care about is fucking Warhammer 40k and Pokemon.
Yeah.
What was I into when I was 14? Anything that I was into. Not math.
Not math.
I feel like
I liked math. It was fun.
Yeah, math was never my strongest, but I feel like I if that YouTube shout out to this one YouTube channel Number File. Number File? Never heard of
never
Number
heard
File?
of
They make
them.
math interesting. They talk about math and math facts and number facts in general. They talk about the history of numbers too, and
It's good.
the mathematics.
It's a good channel.
It's a great channel. It makes
It
math
sounds interesting because, I love math theory, but I hate my mild
I hate
doing
dyslexia
math.
makes actually doing math very difficult.
Yeah, I hate doing math, but I'll do it if I have to.
I missed the day where they taught what do I even call this? The difference between millions and 10 millions and shit like that.
Yeah,
And it's never stuck since.
never. Where's the comma go after every 3 numbers? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
every 3 numbers.
Yep. That again. LAUSD. Round of applause for the Los Angeles Unified School District.
Yeah,
You did your best.
You did your best.
elements. Oh man, what's your favorite element? If you were a bender, what would you be?
Tungsten. No.
Tungsten.
I mean,
tungsten bender.
I'm water. Obviously, I love a swimmy. I love a fishy.
Me too. I feel like I'm water.
Sculpt water,
would be a
great.
water bender.
Healing,
Me
even better.
fire.
Blood
Yeah.
bending, if you're nasty.
I'd make ice cubes all the time for my beverages.
You'd be such a cool bartender.
Yeah. You water benders make the best bartenders, I think.
What about you, Ryan?
Fire, because I like burning.
I guess fire if you're nasty.
Fire's
Damn.
the edgiest element, I think.
Y'all at
Hell
home
yeah.
can't see it, but Ryan was cleaning his glasses in a very threatening way as he said that.
Fine. Plus, if I'm good enough at it, I can throw lightning at people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is
That'd
that
be
not cool?
It's
I
super
think
cool.
that's super cool.
It's
super cool.
I should have mentioned
think-
the dragon turtles in Avatar: The Last Airbender because there's dragon
Yeah.
turtles
Oh,
right
They're
there.
great.
Oh well.
They're great. The lion turtles, I think they're actually
Lion turtles,
called.
shit.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh man. Elementals. Living elements.
God, their stats are so boring. They're so boring, you guys. They're all just chunks of HP with weird little things.
How do we
attached
make
to
them better, you think?
I have a theory for that, but we got to get there. Let me run through these guys first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so you have your stock elementals, right?
Mhm. Earth, air, water.
An air elemental can turn
Air.
into a tornado and yeet shit around. I guess that's kind of cute.
That's pretty cool. Cool.
Fire elementals take 1 point of cold damage for every 5 feet of water they move through. One of the weirdest rules, I think, in the entire game that's completely unexploitable. What do you fucking do with that?
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, you can mess with
who
some people.
knows?
Yes.
But 1 point of damage when it's got a 100
It's fire.
HP?
It makes no sense, right?
Can you imagine? He can chase you a good way through the ocean underwater with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't seem right.
There'll be an unrelenting, scary force.
You can freeze water elementals to reduce their speed, which is also kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A water elemental
Elemental.
English is my first language. A water
I'm very
elemental
proud
can
of
also
it.
grab your head and drown you in himself, which is
Nice.
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That's pretty neat.
And nobody likes earth elementals. All they can do is swim through dirt.
I think Earth Elementals could be cool.
I think
They
there's
can
some
bore
very
tunnels.
cool earth elementals to come. I think
Yeah.
the base one sucks. I think all the base elementals suck.
Rock guy,
Yeah.
like the rock guy.
Well, there's a cute rock guy we're coming to.
Like
All
Geodude.
Okay.
I love Geodude.
Here,
I think Geodude
He's
was
pretty
the
good.
first Pokemon I ever saw. Like,
oh yeah,
that I remember seeing.
You're like, is that a rock with 4 arms?
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, I know what that is, but that's cool.
hot take. I think
Holy
Grappler
shit.
looks way cooler than Golem.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too. Golem's pretty neat, but yeah,
Golem's a turtle.
he is kind of.
Golem's a ball turtle.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, look at that guy.
I remember this guy.
So that's the Gale of Dur. I think that's the better Earth Elemental. That's the old art for him.
Yeah,
Julio,
this guy, yeah.
Ryan,
This
Julio,
guy.
you want to try to describe this
It's a
little
rock
freak?
with little baby legs.
He's an angled rock
he's
with
got
baby
an
legs and
he's
the
got an
most dour face that you can never
Yes.
He's
imagine.
got an expression that just says.
Yeah. His
If that were
expression is the
he
sound.
makes,
Yes.
this picture makes a sound.
We'll put the picture in the notes too, because it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I like these guys better than Earth Elementals, stock standard Earth Elementals, because they can sing to rocks and make them help out, like
That's
Ludo
cool.
from the Labyrinth.
Yeah.
They
That's
can
pretty
also
great, yeah.
use the Pokemon fucking move Rollout and just fucking crush your ass Indiana Jones style. Like, I think that's so much more fun.
That is really fun. Yeah. What's this guy from? What is he?
He's a Galeb Dur.
A Caleb Dirt. What part of the world is that from?
I could not find one of the reasons we're doing all the elementals together is like that sounds like Welsh to me or something.
Oh.
No, could not find the origin for this guy. It's a made up
Okay.
word as far as I can find. I could be wrong though.
Huh.
Write
Okay.
us if I'm wrong. Then we have invisible stalkers, and like you can enchant some wind to go assassinate somebody for you.
Enchant wind.
Yeah, so
You
they're invisible because
assassinate
they're just
someone.
wind. But
Okay.
confusingly, their only form of damage, like you think this thing would like cut you invisibly or like
Mhm.
steal your breath, but their only form of damage is a punch. So I like the idea that you can send an assassin after somebody and they just get like sort of punched around.
Air punched. Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that bludgeoning
Stop hitting
damage?
yourself.
Yeah, it's just bludgeoning damage.
I
It's just
see.
not a lot of bludgeoning damage. I think it's lame.
That's weird.
Let him
That's
fight.
weird
Let
and
him
lame.
fight.
Yeah, right.
You're just getting beat up by wind punches
Invisible wind fists.
from every direction.
Yeah. Next we have water weirds, which are what we'd call like we talk about this sometime. Like some monsters you're like meant to fight. Some
Mhm.
monsters are like boss monsters. Some monsters are like, please help me, the forest is in jeopardy. And some monsters are like just a trap by another name.
Is the water weird a trap?
It's a trap. You just go up to like a fountain or a well, and it reaches out and tries to drown you.
I see.
A one-trick pony, cute trick, whatever. I like that you can cast purify food or drink on the water weird, and it will become not evil.
Mhm.
Huh. Oh, right. Yeah.
The only interaction like
Yeah.
that I'm aware of. I think it's very funny.
I like the weirds in the
Priest,
MTG
bless
canon.
this water.
Yeah, expand on that a little bit because I
Because it
really
was
want to know
like-
the art.
The lore behind the weirds in MTG is that they're elementals that were created by wizards.
Mm-hmm,
So like they're kind of like wizard pets, but they don't exist in nature. They're kind of like they're
that is
made.
interesting.
They're made, like they would take like fire elementals and water elementals and like mush them together and make a weird in like that's like both elements,
How
But
the Mephits do that. We'll get to those in a second.
the
but like,
Mephits, ooh,
yeah, that's. I mean, spoiler. Like, I think that's how you save elementals. But we'll get there. We got to run through the rest of these
Okay.
idiots first.
okay.
We got the Magmen, who are just flaming goblins who
I love the
explode when
name
they die.
Batman.
Yeah.
Bagman.
I think they're mean. I don't like any monster that it's just like, the classes that already have the hardest job because they have to be stuck in melee. Well, let's fucking punish those guys even harder.
Let's make people that they have to fight. They're made out of lava.
Yeah, that hurt them every
Yeah.
time you swing at them.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're
I guess
Magmen.
it's nice every once in a while to be like, barbarian. You can't just hit something with a big stick this time. You got to think.
Yeah.
What?
But
Thinking. That's not my
I didn't choose
forte.
a
Let's
barbarian because I
think.
wanted to think.
Let me think
Yeah.
about that.
Guess what? I'm gonna keep hitting it, even if it does hurt me.
Barbarian strength. Ah.
That's usually
Why would
how
you
it
do
goes.
that, barbarian? Simply because my weapon out damages whatever I receive.
Yeah, exactly. And you also have the biggest HP pool, so you're just like,
Yeah. I have 130 health,
Little
and I
tangent.
inflict
I really
2d12 damage.
yeah,
little tangent. I really like the elemental titans in Hercules. Remember?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
ooh, mwah.
Yeah, they're great, right?
Very cool.
What was
Very
your?
cool
I
guy.
like the ice guy.
The
I
ice
like
guy
he's
was
like a
great.
The frost
skeleton.
giant.
He was like a
Oh, the
skeleton,
frost giant?
ice
Yeah.
made of ice. He's really cool. And there was the lame, like fat one. Remember that guy?
The
He was
Earth
just a
Titan?
cyclops. I don't know
The
why he got to
Cyclops.
chill with the Titans.
Yeah, he
Oh,
and they just sicked him
Cyclops.
on Hercules, and then Hercules messed him up.
I
But
thought
the
you
lava one,
meant the Earth Titan with like the two heads.
No, he's
the,
fine.
the tornado one was cool too. The wind one, yeah.
I
There's
do.
one
I
that was
do.
just a tornado.
Yeah, I do
With
think like
tornado arms.
which were cool,
Yeah.
but like I
Yeah.
wonder who's like let's mash together classical Greece with like American like African American church revival music, and it worked.
It was it worked, you're right, it did.
It worked for me at least.
Yeah, for some people it might not have.
Very cool still.
They'll remain nameless, but I know one who didn't like it. I was watching the movie with him. He was like, "Why did they go with gospel? I don't get it."
Gospel. That was the way smarter way to say the whole sentence I just used to describe a music genre I did not understand.
Yeah. Oh man. But
Useful.
Yeah.
The lava one was cool.
Is there anyone you didn't think was cool? We'll just I guess the Cyclops.
The Cyclops was the lamest one. But yeah.
And we keep coming back to Disney movies today.
Yeah, a lot of Disney movies. I think it's going to be a thing. I think we're going to talk about Disney a lot.
Yeah. It's hard not to, right? They own everything.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's by design almost.
Yeah. Where were we? All right.
Dystopian.
I'm over dystopia. I want utopia.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to turn back that
I want a society where everything's okay and it's not weird and for any reason.
Yeah, it would be great.
For any reason whatsoever.
It's extremely frustrating knowing we have some of the resources to make that happen, but we don't because
but
capitalism.
The people in charge just are okay with the way things are. I hate that. Why are we all okay with this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
We're not,
I'm not going to rant.
Simply feel
I'm not
powerless.
No. What are we?
This isn't that type of podcast.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna skip salamanders. They're actually very interesting. So interesting, and with so much history on them specifically, they'll get their own podcast.
Fire lizards.
Fire lizard.
Yeah. And then we got mephits, who I think are my favorite little guys.
The mephits. Are they like? Wait, no. I'm trying to remember what they are. They come in different flavors of elements, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and they're
right.
the only
They
elemental.
look like little goblin guys, right?
Yeah, they're little imps. They're little winged goblin guys.
Right.
And they're the only monsters in the monster manual I can find that like mix elements.
That's cool.
So like, there's a smoke one, which is like fire plus air, and there's a mud one, which is like, water plus earth, and yeah. So there's like a ton of them. They all get special stuff based on what they're doing. Their entire motivation is just for the lulz. So I'll just fuck with your party because it's funny.
They're like chaotic, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah. They also all get breath weapons, except for the poor mud mephit for some reason.
He can't vomit mud at you.
Yeah.
He can't breathe.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's probably it, Ryan.
He doesn't breathe. He doesn't have to breathe.
And I know I said I hate it earlier, but I think it's funny in this case because they're pranksters and your players will want to crush them. But like, these dudes also explode on death. Like, I think these are peak elementals. Like, special breath weapon, special ability based on their stuff. There's like 16 of them or whatever. Blow up on death. You can use your Pokemon elemental knowledge to fuck them up. Like, good stuff.
Yeah. I wish that D&D had as many elements as Pokemon does.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I mean,
I guess it kind of
In terms
does.
of like damage type.
Kind of does, yeah.
Or
I
like,
know.
I wish they played a bigger role because it would be, I think, a lot more engaging to be like,
Yeah.
Think
you know,
about.
like there's a lot of stuff that's resistant to stuff, but there's not a lot of stuff that's like vulnerable to stuff. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should come up with a system for that. That'd be fun.
yeah. I mean, they have weakness and resistance just like Pokemon, but it's not as core to the gameplay.
I
Yeah.
see.
It's not utilized as often.
That's cool. That way, you're imagine if it did, if D&D were a little bit more like Pokemon, and your D&D troop or like your D&D team or whatever was
Yeah.
like
In your
everyone
party.
had to pick an element or a couple of elements, and to round out a team that's like, that'd be fun.
I mean, it sounds like I don't know how your game jam's going, but it sounds like you have a design for a game right there.
I do. I'm working. I have my hands in many pies. So
Yeah.
I'm always coming up with something. I always got a little project
Yeah.
I'm working on. Yeah,
Always
I'm
thinking
working.
deeply.
Our
Yeah.
last elemental is a sick little freak called a Zorn.
Zorn.
Oh.
He's like a 3-eyed, 3-horned little fat monster, and all he does is eat dirt, trying to eat gems and treasure.
Wow. He'll
Um,
never
What a-
go
what a
hungry
little
'cause
freak.
he's eating dirt.
Yep.
Dirt's very common.
We got tons of it.
Yep.
There's a lot of dirt.
Well, he doesn't really want the dirt; he wants the treasure.
Oh,
So, like, they start to starve on our dimension because there isn't enough treasure in the ground.
I
they
see.
hate
Not
it
enough
here.
diamonds. Not enough diamonds and gold.
Exactly.
How
But
dare
if you,
I
like,
get
bribe him or
transported
trick him.
to?
Sorry, was that Ryan?
How dare they drop me into a dimension that has such bare resources?
Yeah. That's how I feel every day.
Isn't there a planet where it rains diamonds?
I think
a
it's
moon
Neptune.
Or something? Neptune, right? It rains.
Yeah.
That's
rains
pretty
freaking
dope.
diamonds over there.
Yep.
Just cause.
Just cause.
Hey, the solar system's fucking crazy. You ever think about that?
It's insane.
Yeah, I do.
It's
I think
insane.
about it a lot.
A lot.
I think about all the moons of like Saturn
Almost
and
every
Jupiter,
day.
and all like I don't even know if we know how many moons those planets have.
I think we
Or-
do,
There could
but
be a
like there's
planet
a
out
lot.
there where the
and-
There's a
atmosphere
lot.
is
There's probably
just
some that are
cheese.
undiscovered, I'm sure. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, planets.
just-
I mean, we got a planet like that's nearby in the solar system that the whole air is just fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, actually, it's not fire because I learned on PBS Eons, Earth is the only planet that has fire because we're the only one with oxygen.
With oxygen, yeah.
Yeah, which fire can't exist without.
Yeah.
So
I'm
like
just saying,
Venus,
like it's equivalent to fire.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it might as
Because
well
it's
be
hot.
fire at that point.
It's
I
just
guess.
really hot air and gases.
Yeah. I will say, I think this is Scrub Mud adjacent, even though this isn't a UFO episode, but I love how often, like, because people in early ufology, people were like, oh yeah, Venus and Mars, that's where all the aliens are. Venus and Mars. And like, we got up to like, we sent probes to Mars and we're like, well, it looks pretty empty, but like, there's like places where water used to be. There's an ice cap and shit. And people are like, all right, Venus is going to be it, baby. We're going to get through those clouds. It's going to be sweet. We're going to see all the hot aliens. Our buddy
It'd be
Valiant
great.
Thor was from Venus, if you remember that secret
Yeah.
space program.
Yeah. So
And,
this
like,
this is before we actually sent probes out there, and some people were conjecturing that these planets were habitable.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Wow.
big time.
Wow.
I mean, like we
Then we
live on
get
a
there and it's
planet
all lava.
that was
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's
Like
going
we
to be
live
a
on a planet
paradise.
that's habitable. It's like you at the time you'd only imagine that like, oh yeah, other planets has to have some kind of form of
Yeah,
like
because Earth
life
is
supporting.
the only
Yeah.
planet we know. So why wouldn't those other planets be like what we know? But of course, now we know Earth
Yeah.
is very, very special.
Yeah,
And then
Earth
we
is
sent a drone
super
out there,
special.
and it's like, whoops,
Suspiciously
it
special.
melted on contact.
Yeah. Well, we also know it's not like it's special, but it's not that special. Like now that we have better telescopes, like the James Webb,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, there are other Earth planets like here, but it's out there. But it seems like it's only like 1 or 2 per solar system, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
Like we just haven't seen a planet that's had
Yeah.
life on it,
Yeah.
Oh
As
man.
far as we know.
and like getting to those other Earth-like planets is like, oh, you gotta
What do you
take
think alien elementals would be like?
like a few light years to get out there.
Yeah, Yesterein's thing. What do I think alien elementals would be like? They'd be the same, right? Because they'd be the same because they're basic building blocks. Like as
I
boring of
guess,
an answer
yeah.
as that is.
I don't know. I'm thinking of like silicon-based life forms,
Oh
almost. You
yeah,
know, it's that kind of thing. You know, like life forms that maybe
I
evolve.
also heard
Huh?
that cackle.
Someone's enjoying a
Oh,
lot
my
of
wife's
TV
having
back
fun.
there.
She's
Oh, that's
watching.
good.
She's having fun talking to her family.
Oh good. Oh good.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, you probably hear her in the background. Oh well.
All good.
Uh,
It's all good.
how do
But yeah.
you guys want to get into some alchemy now?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I want to talk about alchemy. Yes.
Okay. This is
Use me up a gold bar.
Yeah.
I hope this makes sense. I hope
Turn
this
lead into
fits.
gold.
There's not a lot of like elemental monsters in lore, but there's a lot of like elemental like theory in alchemy.
Elamon.
Elamon.
Yeah. It's my great value Pokemon, Elamon.
Hell yeah.
Elamon. Yeah, it'd be a Digimon, I think. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this section of the episode, if you can alter your state of being, this is a good time to do it because I'm gonna say a lot of things, and you're just gonna have to like understand and yes and it.
You heard John.
You're gonna have to
light
morph with
up,
it.
man.
Yeah,
Responsibly. If you're driving, stop driving.
right now.
Light it up.
Find a place. Find a nuts. Find a parking
Get
space.
into your Rite Aid parking lot.
Rite Aid or Burger King parking
Get
lot.
ready. Yeah.
Yes,
Burger
I've
King
always
because
said
you'll at
scrub
least be
mode is
close to a
best.
source of food.
Yeah.
Scrub mode is best listened to in a Burger King parking lot. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly. Under an altered state of mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Remember,
Okay.
alter your state of mind responsibly.
so weirdly, we said at the top this was like a Western conception of the four elements, but Tibet and India also are like fire, earth, air, water. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hermetic tradition. So let's go back to ancient Greece, where there is this dude, a bunch of dudes who are like, hey,
Paracelsus
is-
one of them?
yeah, well, he's an alchemist. We'll get there.
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
But there are a bunch of dudes like, hey, what's shit made out of? What is everything
What
made
is
out
it
of?
made out of? I'm really glad people started
What is
asking
this?
those questions.
Yeah, like thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are like, what are rocks made out of?
What is this shit? What is anything really?
Yes, that's exactly what they're asking. What is any of this shit?
Look, why? Why? What? Look at this. Look at you.
Look at me. What?
For
What?
some reason, the popular argument was like, it wasn't combinations of shit, but there was one primordial element that everything else was made out of. So like, all the fire is also made out of water or something, which doesn't make any sense, but that was the thought pattern at the time. Thales is like the first guy to get in on this shit. He thinks like everything is made out of water. We all come from water. You know, water can become hard to become a rock. Water can become not hard to become
ice.
steam or a gas. Yeah, exactly. It's like everything is some kind of water.
Okay.
And then Heraclitus, who Heraclitus, for reasons I cannot understand, thought it was fire. I've read
Okay.
it. I'm not an ancient Greek scholar. I do not understand how this dude arrived at that conclusion. We can all agree who's fucking wrong.
I mean, you know, they didn't have a lot to go off of.
Yeah, this is like
this is
we are-
before the microscope was invented, so
this
Yeah.
is thousands of years before the microscope was invented.
yeah.
It's only stuff that they can ever like just.
Yeah. Again, it's really important for you to understand philosophy is that the origins of this stuff is like these dudes had rich families and or enough slaves that they didn't have to do any work, and there was no TV.
All they had to do was think about shit.
Yeah, so they just sat down and thought about shit.
It was like the TV
lot.
back then.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
The
their
TV was
entertainment.
arguing with another fail son at the fucking wine bar. Like,
Yeah.
How dare you? I mean, there's still people who do that. It's just that none of the things that they say are as important.
yeah, I think it's like bad now.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Now it's
I mean,
bad.
I think
Before
it's
it was.
All you had to do, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, the thing is that like a lot of the things that they had to think about are solved now. So there's like not a lot of things
Yeah.
like at least on like surface level approachable. Like thinking about, oh, what's a rock made of? That's surface level approachable. Now that we know that all that stuff exists, it's like, well, what is everything that makes up that made of? Like how
Yeah, there's
small
less
does
material
it go?
bullshit to become
Yeah.
weirdly opinionated about. So we
Right.
have to become weirdly opinionated about media.
Yeah.
Exactly. What
I
makes
mean,
up Kim Kardashian's popularity?
Ah.
yummy.
And then they get drunk, and then they get into a fist fight.
I will say, quick shout out to the Roman couch, the triclinium. I wish I had some of those. That was a couch that you could sort of half sit up on, half lay down on. So, like, you
Oh,
could be
yeah.
laying down, but also being upright enough that you could be fed grapes or wine and not choke to death.
What a
Oh, I love
great piece
those.
of furniture.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
want one.
I want one so bad.
They're
I don't
so
know if it's socially
they
acceptable
had
to
it
be
good.
sitting in one of
No.
those now.
Obviously not.
It's what do you mean? It's
I
super
remember
acceptable.
as a young child going to like an elderly like relative's house, and they had a bed that, you know, for a sick person that would recline and stuff. And I remember seeing that when I was a little kid thinking, I want one of those. That's so cool. You can just sit and watch TV. But no,
And lie down.
that's for when you're sick and you can't
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah,
move.
yeah.
That's when you're debilitated.
Yeah. But it
That's
looks
when
so
you're
comfy.
old and
It
your
looks so
limbs start.
comfy.
I mean, it
Sick
is
people have the
comfy,
best
right?
It is.
furniture.
Well, I mean, like what do you call it? I remember my grandma having one of those, and when we visited her, and I remember like lying down in them once, like
Mhm.
because you know that my grandma, she used it to, like, my grandma or my grandpa would use it because they're old.
Right.
But you know, when they weren't in there and they were able to walk around, and like I laid down on there once, and it was like, oh, it's not as comfortable because it uses like
The
kind of like the
heartbreak.
same like hospital mattress
Oh, I see.
and like paper. Yeah. So it's just like, oh well, okay.
No, right. Oh man.
All right, so a bunch of these Greek dudes was like, hey, is it made out of air? Air is the lightest element. Clearly everything's like, as air gets harder, it turns into all the other shit.
Right.
Big arguments. Eventually a dude was like, Anaximander was like, bro, we can't turn we can't turn fire into water. We can't turn air into dirt. We can't turn any element into any other element. So there's probably a secret fifth element that all the other elements come from.
That's love.
Yeah, it
Heart.
is.
Love.
Heart.
Yeah, heart. Why do you think Captain Planet shows up after that?
Yeah. Or if you've seen The Fifth
Huh?
Element, you know the fifth element is love.
It's love.
So
Spoilers
Belu.
for The Fifth Element, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
Again,
spoiling
like
another fucking
like a
30-year-old
30-year-old movie.
Fast forward to like 2,500 years ago, and Greek philosopher Empedocles is the first person to be like, these are the four elements. Everything is made out of some combination of these four elements: air, earth, fire, water.
Yeah. That band only needs 3 of them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't the other one like love?
Maybe.
I'm joking. It didn't land.
It's good. It's good.
So then Aristotle theorized that all the elements were actually combinations of traits: hot, cold, dry, and wet. So water is cold mixed with wet. Earth is cold, dry. Fire is hot, dry, and air is hot, wet.
Air is hot and wet.
Doesn't work for me, that one.
No.
I'm with him until he says air is hot, wet.
Yeah.
Guys, it's just hot wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Bro.
then a Greek name, first name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but a Neoplatonist by the name of Proclus devised his own, even dumber system of binaries. So he was like, is an element subtle? Is an element sharp or blunt? Is it subtle or dense? Is it mobile or immobile?
Let me guess. Is fire mobile and air mobile?
Fire is sharp, subtle, and mobile.
Okay.
Well, earth is blunt, dense, and immobile. Like, this works a little bit better for me. doesn't get us any closer to anything.
No.
But, like, it's better than Aristotle's
Fire
system.
is subtle.
It's a bunch of stuff that doesn't mean anything, really.
Yeah, I think by subtle, he just means, like, you can hold it.
Oh,
Because air is also subtle.
okay.
Okay.
Weird, maybe the translation didn't quite work. But that's where we get stuck for the next 1500 years until we get to your boy, the alchemist, Paracelsus.
Paracelsus. Was Agrippa one of those guys, too?
Yeah, we talked about him in the Basilisk
Agrippa.
episode.
I remember learning about Agrippa and Paracelsus when I was really into Frankenstein. They were referenced in Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, my fucking Full Metal Alchemist heads out there, Paracelsus's real name was Theophrastus von Hohenheim. So, like, you know.
Hohenheim!
That's awesome.
His wizard name was Paracelsus.
Oh, that's cool.
Because wizards are like superheroes, you know.
Yeah, you gotta have a wizard name.
I mean, like, we all have online handles. Those are basically our wizard names, right?
Basically. Like... Mine is the best.
All right.
I hope we all think our own is the best.
Online handle. I like my Discord name.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
All right. So this dude was like, he wrote a book attempting to prove that everything in our world was made from those 4 elements, and also that there were special spirits attached to all 4 of those elements that sort of governed how they worked.
But what are the spirits made out of?
These elements, I guess. I love this podcast. I did not have time to read a whole alchemy textbook and try to understand it.
That's fair.
It's all good.
You have a book on necromancy, don't you, John?
I do. I can't remember who it's by, but I do have a book of collected medieval necromancy tomes.
Wow.
He's ready.
Be careful with that.
Yeah.
He's ready. When the Chaos Gods tear a hole into our plane and magic starts to spill over. He's ready.
I'm going straight to Zinch, baby. I'm like, give me all the magic powers and change.
Yeah.
I have my necromancy tomes. I'm here to summon the dead.
Yep. All right. So Paracelsus also thought that the entire planet was made out of layers of the elements.
Well, it's pretty close.
Yeah, because like he thought the firmament where all the stars are, he thought that was fire, and like all the stars are burning explosions of various gases. So like he said, that's not.
It's close, but
not too far off.
It's not far off, yeah.
And this is the part that's going to be really confusing and did not make sense. But to make this make more sense, he said, think about an egg. So he claimed that the air surrounding the world was like an egg shell. And the egg white below the shell is like fire because it was a type of chaos. And also it lets it put itself between the air and the water.
Mm-hmm.
The earth and the water make up the globe, which in this analogy is a yolk. Like, I'm doing a bad job, but he's like, basically like an egg, how there's like, you have shell and then whites and then yolk. We got like air, and then we have like fire, and then air, and then earth and water in the middle.
I mean,
so
if I
was explaining how like the atmosphere.
If I lived back then, I would be having a bad time, I imagine. But
yeah, I mean, like, you're like most people died of shitting themselves to death until like 1920. So like,
yeah,
you know,
it's a tough way to go.
Unless you're like really rich, and then you just die of gout, I imagine.
Yeah,
probably.
We're getting like
you either die of massive dehydration through excessive shitting, or you die because you ate too much and you like tripped.
Yeah.
Most people who existed die from the plague, I think. I remember hearing that.
I don't know if that's true, but I do know 2/3 of Europe died of the plague, which is like
damn.
A lot.
That's a lot of Europeans.
It's a lot, yeah.
But like, if you think about it,
also
he's not that far off with the egg thing.
The dude who spread the Black Plague to Europe via, he was a Mongol commander, and he flung plague-ridden corpses over walls in what's now Crimea, I think.
Oh,
and then people fled there.
War tactics, really?
Yeah, it was one of the first uses of like a biological weapon in war.
Wow.
And also the dude's name was Ianibeg, which like
damn you, Ianibeg.
Yeah, Ianibeg sounds like a rapper name, because Yanni is just like Greek or like whatever weird Turkic name this guy had for like Johnny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yanni. Go,
And
Yanni boy.
Bay is like a commander or a boss, so he was just like, Johnny Boss here, flinging hot dead corpses in your area. You can thank Johnny
It's
Boss
me,
for the Black
Boss
Plague.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Boss
Wow.
Johnny sounds the exact right amount of words for a name of like a post-apocalyptic psychopath.
Yeah. Oh man, we gotta. Do you guys want to go see the new Mad
It's
Max
me,
movie?
Boss Johnny.
Oh, of course.
Looks
Which
pretty
one?
cool. The new Mad Max movie.
There's
I had a
new
friend
one
work
coming
on
out?
it. My friend was the
No way.
the data wrangler. So
Oh
Wait,
wow,
there's
that's
a
cool.
new one coming out?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
new Mad Max. It's about Furiosa. It's like a prequel, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Mad Max Fury or
I don't know.
Furiosa.
Furiosa. I think it's a Mad Max
Furiosa?
story, but I think the name of the movie is Furiosa. Can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Because someone
So
Googled
it's
this.
not the one that came out previously. It's a new one that's coming out.
Let me look it up. Furiosa. A Mad Max Saga 2024 film. Yeah, it hasn't come out
Oh,
yet.
okay. Okay,
Yeah, it's
then
not.
yeah.
Furiosa Mad Max
All right.
Saga. Yeah, it looks
yes,
pretty sick.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Chris
mind.
Hemsworth's in it.
Wow.
Yeah, he plays like some guy who looks a lot like Thor.
What's his name is like as Australian. The film's set in Australia, so I understand he's getting as many Australian actors as he can.
That's cool.
Right.
One of them just so happens to be Chris Hemsworth. All the better, right? Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a really
George
long
Miller.
mustache. It's great.
Cool.
Anyway, let me
I'm
wrap
just
up our boy
saying.
here.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, Johnny Boss just sounds like a post-apocalyptic bad guy
Yeah,
and also like a funny, weird RPG bad guy.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
He
That'd be
sounds
great.
like
Johnny
he
Boss
sounds
is
like an
absolutely the name of-
Earthbound.
you forgot to name the bandit captain, and you're like, oh, he's
He's Johnny
Boss.
Boss.
Johnny Boss.
Yeah.
He's Johnny Boss. People call him Boss Johnny, but you know.
Boss Johnny Boss.
Boss Johnny Boss. Johnny Boss Johnny. I don't know, man. It's
What does
fun
he
to
do?
say.
He throws a corpse at you.
Yep.
Right?
You don't want to
It
get
has
hit by
malaria.
Yeah.
it. It has the plague. Oh man. Okay.
Pour one
Throws
out
a
next time.
plague-ridden corpse at you.
Next time you're getting a COVID test, pour one out for Johnny Boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, pour one out. He's mostly at fault.
Yeah.
I mean, not for COVID, but
Nah. Yeah.
No.
But yeah.
But
so
for
like
wiping out 2/3 of Europe? Yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
one shot. Good job. So okay, like one of the cool things about Paracelsus's book, or his belief was like, nymphs controlled the water, sylphs controlled the air, pygmies or gnomes, controlled the earth,
Okay.
and salamanders, which we talked about earlier, control fire. And he was like, these guys are sort of like, these aren't demons or anything weird. Like God planned for this. This is all part of God's plan.
I forget Paracelsus believed in God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All these guys did.
I guess they did. They had to, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure if you didn't believe in God, you were like exiled or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this is the time of the Inquisition.
I see, yeah.
Like, anyway, but yeah, so I don't know. I think that's kind of cute. He's like, it's sort of starting that sort of like the good part of the Jesuit stuff where you're like, hey, God made the whole world. So by studying all the cool shit in the world, we get closer to God.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's a nice sentiment where you're like,
I think
we don't
it
gotta
is.
read this book. We just gotta like be like, oh man, I can't believe he made this cool shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Just learn and, be cool about it.
Yeah,
He made these like cows you can be friends with. It's crazy. They're called dogs.
And he also made these dogs that you can drink from.
They're called cows. It's weird. It's great.
Don't drink the pig milk.
Don't drink the pig milk.
Oh man, but
Don't eat the fish.
Oh man, we're wrapping this up.
Yeah, we're wrapping this up. I don't have anything else to say about him. Just like the eggshell shit was weird. Our current magic systems are all based on his conception.
The eggshell thing is it makes kind of sense.
It makes a kind of sense. He also he like goes on. He's like the elements can mix. So like because sulfur is a rock that burns, it's a fire rock. And because mercury is a rock that flows like water, it's a water rock. Like he was close. He was getting
still
there.
close. I mean,
like space being filled
they
with
didn't have
fire,
much to
also
go
not
off of, you
not
know.
that far off.
Yeah.
It's filled with a ton of burning radiation rays that will melt you
They didn't
from
have
the
much
inside
to
out.
go off of, you know. They had like their eyes, their senses. That's all they
Yeah.
had.
There's no
Yeah.
scientific method.
Yeah, no
It was
scientific
the eyes,
method.
the senses, and whatever they like had in front of them. You know,
Yeah. Oh man,
they had
thank
it
you, John.
rough, but they lived.
Yeah, I was about to say I have no idea how to close this one out.
Thank you, John. I'm just gonna close it out by saying thank you to you two. I'm glad
Yeah.
we're back. I'm glad we're doing this again. Man,
Thank you, viewers.
thank you
for believing in us.
Yeah.
We hope you had a good break.
Yeah, I hope you had a great holiday, and I'm looking forward to this year. I feel like some crazy shit's about to happen. I don't know, but trying not to be too anxious
Maybe.
about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, we can hopefully it'll all work out.
It'll
If
all
it
work
doesn't,
out.
take care of each other.
Take
Community
care of your
action.
families. Take care of your loved ones.
Yeah. Help those who can't be helped or who the system is not helping.
Yeah. Oh man.
True.
Thank you, Jesse Sanders, for making our music.
Love you.
He's awesome. He's gonna be on the show again at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
He'll be a recurring guest. Maybe we'll play D&D together. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, one day. But yeah. Man. Buy us a coffee. Links to do so in the description. Tell your friends about us. We'd appreciate it. Just spread us like wildfire. Spread us out there. Tell everyone.
Telling your
about us.
friends is like
Probably
one of the best.
It's the best thing you can do for us.
And if you don't watch your back, we'll sick John on you.
I can't. I'm not.
Thank you for listening. We'll see y'all next time. What else? Am I missing something? Buy us a coffee. Buy a shirt for yourself. Yeah.
Leave
Thanks
a
so
comment.
much. Leave a comment. Rate us. Leave us a review. We'd appreciate it. Maybe we'll shout you out if you review us. We will. We'll do it. Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.